Days, a lot of optimism in Lubbock after Joey Maguire in his debut as a head coach at Texas Tech went 8-5, 5-4 in the Big 12, first 8-win season since 2013, defeating Ole Miss in the Texas Bowl 42-25. Coach, appreciate you joining us, Joey Maguire. Before we start, I got to get a look of the fit. Show us the inside of the jacket and the nod to this.
Yes, indeed. He is sweet today.
Hold it up, open a little bit longer. We can see. Tell us what the nod is to and why.
Just a tip of the cap to Mike Leach and respect to him. Kind of starts with being a high school coach and the influence that he had on the game. You can't go a Friday night and not see something that Mike Leach, part of his offense in any stadium probably in the state of Texas. And so I didn't know him very well, but I feel like I get to know him more and more every day being the head coach at Texas Tech.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool of you to do that. And you're right, man. The air raid, there's touches that permeate all throughout the great state of Texas. Year one, you came in guns a-blazing, man. You got the job, and you were so fired up. And it came to fruition. 8 wins. You guys beat Oklahoma and Texas in the same season for the first time in program history. You cap it off beating Ole Miss. Recap year one. Did it exceed any and all of your expectations of being having your own college football program?
Man, it's tough because our goal is to win the Big 12. Right. And we didn't do that. And it was one of the things I actually had my coaching staff stand up. We patted each other on the back, and I said, good, sit down. We did not win the Big 12, so we got to go to work again. And so from the standpoint of building what we're trying to build, it did. We did some things that hadn't been done. We're learning how to play the game of football the way we want to play it. But again, I think there's so much work to be done, and we have a lot of guys to come back, and we have 18 starters from that bowl game that are back and ready to go. And so we feel like we have a really good football team.
You came in. We know how fiery you are.
Yeah.
And, that bringing the background that you have. How has this job maybe forced you to kind of tamper that down a little bit and delegate a little bit more? Are you still the same guy?
Yeah, I'm the same guy, man. I learned a lot being a high school coach, head coach. And so everybody in our building has a role. They're experts in at least one thing. Be great at your job, whatever that number one definition of your job is. And then it's my job to come in and bring the energy every day. I'll tell you, my goal is every single day when my players enter the building, it's the best part of their day. I'm going to hug them. I'm going to tell them I love them. And then we're going to push them to do things that they really don't think they can do. And when you have that kind of attitude and that kind of energy, you have the opportunity to do that. And I think we're making some huge strides as a program.
It's infectious, that's for sure.
Yeah. Listen, even coaches that have done this for 40 years at one school still tinker and learn things each year. What did you learn in year one that you liked or that you might want to change in terms of your program?
Just continuing to grow. We're an analytics team, and so continue to grow that way. We meet every Thursday with Champion Analytics, and I think it's great for our young coaches to understand the game and different situations. I mean, you have to be great at situational football. And so how do we work that more and more into practice? One thing we changed this year, we would always say second down to play third down. Well, this year during spring, we took third down, hit the magic number, fourth down. And so just kind of continuing to grow in that area to keep finding ways to practice what happens every single day, or every single Saturday in a game. And that's something that we really try to grow as a staff when it comes to that.
And to your point, you guys went for it on fourth down 52 times, converted 33. Nobody went for it more. And you were 9th in the country in red zone defense. So like situational football, moving the chains on fourth down, keeping it out of the end zone. You guys did that. I want to go back to the fourth down, analytics. Get a chance to ask a lot of coaches. Is it straight by the book, or is it gut, or is it a combination of both when you decide, hey, let's roll the dice, let's go?
Well, it was straight by the book, and then we kind of adjusted a little bit after the TCU game. If I go back and I look, there were two moments. North Carolina State in the fourth quarter. I wished I would have punted. And then it's 20 to 17. We just gave up our first offensive touchdown against TCU, and we should have punted at that point, and because we were playing really good defense. And so we kind of adjusted a little bit whenever it comes to that. But you also go back. We don't beat Texas if we don't convert those fourth downs. We actually, if we would have kicked the field goal every time we would have supposed to kick the field goal by old school book, we would have lost by 1 point. And so I think it's one of those deals whenever you have that philosophy, you've got to buy into it and you got to go with it. If not, you're just kind of guessing and rolling the dice. And the numbers say go, then we're going to go.
What excites you about this group, this team, the 2023 bunch?
Man, just a veteran group. We're going to be a lot better in the offensive line. Our best offensive lineman didn't get to play last year, Cole Spencer. He hurt his back right before camp. It really never got better. We weren't going to push it, and so we're able to get him back. We're going to be a lot better up front. That's going to help us in so many ways because y'all know if you're not good up front. And then we've got a really deep group. We've got a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year on both sides of the ball, and so really excited. And then I'm anxious to see who the next Tyree Wilson is. When we have that guy on our roster, I mean, we really do. And so who's going to be that guy that has that kind of year to move up, you know, and be able to be drafted at a high level and play on Sundays?
Tyree Wilson, first-round draft pick last year, and really came along and surprised some big name that, you know, a lot of us didn't know at the beginning of the year. You said that guy's on your roster. Can you kind of give us some names as to who to look for?
Well, you know, I think if we have a healthy Tyler Shough, he has an opportunity to really push himself. I think he's as good a quarterback as there is in the country. That's what's been crazy, and, you know, you'll appreciate this. I don't think our room has been talked about enough when you're talking about quarterbacks in the Big 12. I mean, I have two quarterbacks that have won Big 12 games. Not the potential to win Big 12 games, but two have won. I don't know if anybody else has that, you know, in the conference. So excited about that. Our edge guys are really good. Miles Cole has taken Tyree Wilson's spot. What was really cool, y'all saw it. He stood up, Tyree did, and stuck his arms out. Tyree's 6'6", 271. Miles is 6'5.5", 282, and has longer arms than Tyree Wilson. And so guys like that, Steve Linton, another guy on the edge, that they have chances to be really good this year. And so the production and the self-confidence is going to help them play at a high level.
You got one of my buddies on your staff, Kenny Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit about the staff and what's that building that and putting that together.
Well, how cool is it that Houston is in the Big 12? I mean, you and I both know they should have been from the get-go. I mean, you're talking about a great football university. You're talking about tradition that they have. And then you're also talking about one of the biggest markets, not only in recruiting, but just the TV market. So it's great that they're back. I love Dana. I love the style that he plays. But our staff, man, it's a fun staff. I've got a really good group of guys that believe in what we do. We laugh a lot. You have to have thick skin on our staff. You know, one of our guys, CJ IU, both of y'all played with two of my guys, with KP and CJ. And so it's a really strong staff and a strong group of recruiters in this state. And I think you're seeing that in what we're doing with the staff or the group that we signed and the group that we have committed to us right now.
You got great taste. We can both attest. And you brought in a guy, Zach Kitley, last year who hit out the park. You guys number 2, I think, in yards per game, 4 in scoring. You touched on Tyler Shough. I'm sure you know the stat, but in games that he started and finished, he's 8-0 as a starter at Texas Tech. Yeah. How do you keep him from the start line to the finish line? That's the one part. You go back to Oregon, is staying healthy. I know I'm a guy who was hurt a lot, so I know it's football. Is there any way you can help keep him on the field throughout the course of a season?
Well, and the reason I'm smiling, what's tough is he has this fullback mentality. Right. Like our offense is geared around the quarterback. I mean, they make Kitley always says, I suggest a play, and if you want to change it, then you have the ability to do it. And if you look in the Ole Miss game, there was a lot of times Tyler called his own number, you know, and so we've got to, I think us being better up front is going to help. I think him understanding the offense This is the first time in his collegiate career he's had the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row.
Wow.
So I think that's going to be a big part of it. And then he's got to get down or get out of bounds. As much as he doesn't want to do that, he's got to do that to stay healthy.
Coach, a lot of, coaches get some rest during the off season, maybe go to a lake, go to a beach. You did a little bit of that. You also did something else unique during the off season. You were ordained?
Ordained, so I did my second wedding. My first one I did Sam Tecklenburg. I coached him at Baylor. It was an honor. It was so incredible. And then James Lockhart, another guy, was his position coach at Baylor. He coaches for me, and I did his last Saturday. And so it just an incredible moment to be a part of that, and love both of those guys. Incredible wives, and it was, I think it was more the wives' ideas than theirs. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm actually doing Tyler Shough's next April.
That's awesome.
And so that'd be number 3. And man, just incredible.
How does that conversation go when Tyler comes to you and asks you? He says what?
Well, it starts with, Coach, could you rearrange spring football because I'm getting married April 6th, I think is the date. And I said, well, and he goes, because I want you to do the wedding. And I was like, yeah, I can do that for sure. And so now it's going back and kind of seeing how we can move some things around in spring football, because it's going to be in San Diego, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. What a great story. Coach, we really appreciate the time. We always love the energy that you bring up here on the stage, and good luck this season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me,
All right,
guys.
we're going to be back with some players from Texas Tech when we get back. They join Hannah when we get back here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.